my handling, at least for now, of the Duco linking rings. 3 rings. It's very important to begin by having them minutely examined. The trick is meaningless if they're not. 2 of the rings are taken like so, over the thumbs. They're linked, and then unlinked. What can be done with 2 can be done with 3. 1, 2, 3 rings, once separate, now in a seemingly unbreakable chain. But watch closely, scrutinize, get as close as you'd like. Look at those rings indisputably linked until they're not. I assume that most of you are familiar with the paradox of Schrödinger's cat. It's a thought experiment wherein the cat is perceived to be both alive and dead at the same time. Similarly, these rings appear to be both linked and unlinked at the same time. If you look closely now, while the rings are in a horizontal plane, they'll appear to be unlinked. But if I bring them up to the vertical, you will see, both by sight and sound, that in whatever configuration, these rings are linked. Until, of course, they're not. I present for you 3 rings for your scrutiny and examination. Hi, I've saved the yakety yak for after the video, sort of explain why it's there. I started making videos for my own edification. When I come up with a routine, I would usually write it down and make a video of it for my own use. I started posting the ones that I thought were worthy of sharing. This one is more in the style of the kind of videos I would make for myself. I would add an explanatory video where necessary, and I wouldn't think one is necessary in this particular case, as I know the basics. Now, the story of this particular trick is kind of interesting. I purchased it in 1981. It was sold as El Duco's linking rings, and it came with 3 rings and a key. And I came up with a routine that I've long since forgotten. I was at a friend's house in Southington, Connecticut. His friend was a student of Slidini, and Slidini was there, and he was wonderful. It was just the 3 of us. And I had my close-up kit with me, in which I had my El Duco rings, and I had been working on a routine. And because it involves lapping, my friend suggested that I show the routine to Slidini, which I did, and it was not ready. It was terrible. I look at this video I'm posting here, and it's still not quite polished. I think I can do a couple of things much, much better, and I will. I'll work on it. One of the other reasons why I make these videos, so I can make these incremental improvements. Anyway, this is a really cool and forgotten trick, and I'll be posting more videos like this, really for my own edification. And, you know, I really don't feel that I'm presenting this video to you, but inviting you to look over my shoulder at videos I make for myself. And if they're useful to you, or if you're interested, I could be persuaded to share some details about it. And if you're interested in doing it yourself, you know, we could communicate about it. I don't expect that. I expect this to be kind of a legacy for, for myself as long as I'm alive, and to be available to my friends and colleagues after I'm not. Anyway, if you find this interesting or enjoyable, let me know. I think I love magic that's really simple in concept and straightforward in effect. And certainly the linking rings is a classic. And I think the feature of these rings, first of all, they're, as opposed to the regular size rings, you can conceal them. You can hold them in your hand. The other thing that I really noticed that's a big advantage of these rings is, unlike normal linking rings, when you bang them together, the sound isn't any different than it would be, you know, with a solid ring as opposed to a key ring. With, you know, you get that clanging sound with the key ring of an ordinary linking ring set. You don't get that with these. And also, the idea that the gap, the opening in the rings, is just the right size to accommodate 2 rings passing through it. In fact, when 2 rings are covering the gap, you can't see the gap. And that makes it really, really presentable for close-up. Oh, and the third thing, you have the flesh of your finger. If you hold a ring between your fingers, the flesh of your finger, just the overlap into the gap, is more than sufficient to hide it. So it's got a lot of advantages. I think it's an advantage, A, that they're completely examinable, both before and after. B, that it's done right under the nose of the spectator and that everything you say is indisputably true. And it's simplified. The routine is simplified. Only 3 rings as opposed to, well, I do pretty much a variation of the Vernon routine with 6 rings. And, I think this one has lots in the right conditions, right performing conditions. This has many, many advantages over the parlor or stage size routines. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough, but at least I did it after showing you the magic. So, you could cut this out anytime you want. Again, let me know if you're interested in more information about this routine, including I could be persuaded to make an over-the-shoulder video to show you my handling and to go into the details of the rings themselves. For me, right now, I always fall in love with the trick that I'm working on. For right now, for today, this is my favorite trick, and I'm pleased to be sharing it with you. Thanks for watching. And if you watched this far, you have commendable patience, far more than I do. See you later.